Hello and welcome to Homestead Imaginations. I'm Josh and today we are going to be going over worm farming. So here we have, we've got two bins that I have started for worm farms. These are redwigglers, which are like the best ones. They eat the most and I think they also reproduce the fastest. I got these two bins. I got starter bins that were for sale by Adirondack Worm Farm. So if you're in the Washington, Warren County, like he's your go-to for compost and vermicast. He's got he sells these. He'll sell a bin with starter bedding, some food in there, some like material like vermicast already to give them a good environment. And like about 100 worms. So I bought two bins to get started, and he also has a business where you can he'll pick up your scrap material, like your bio waste that's good for composting. He will pick that up like on a different schedule. You can sign up for a different plan, and then you actually get some compost at the end of like the year. So pretty cool business, really helpful, really intelligent. He knows all there is about composting and worm farm. So he helped me get started. I attended a lecture of his and learned how to do this correctly because I had watched videos online, followed some different things, and it failed miserably. Plus the thing I had wasn't very good, but there's some misinformation out there that people post about that's not very helpful. So I got straightened out, corrected, and now I've got successful bins. I tried the previous year to do a worm farm and it failed miserably. I couldn't get the environment right, so the worms always tried to get out. And this, I barely had any worms get out of these two bins. I think these bins are better about locking in, so they have a harder time getting out anyway. But still, like, the environment's much better. They're much happier worms. So these bins I'm going to harvest in the next couple days. They're ready for harvest. So I've let the bedding get down real low. That's not a lot of bedding, which is this. Which your bedding is going to be shredded paper, shredded cardboard, stuff in that nature. And then you need food. And then the rest of this is all of their making. Like that's the vermicast. So really healthy. Both of these bins have done extremely well. I started them back in, I think it was like late August, maybe early September, and there was not much. It was like half of a bin. It was about like half of a bin and not very tall of like your starting material. And here we are. It's probably halfway up the height of the bin, but then it's filled out the entire bin. Like these are fairly heavy. I wish I had like a scale to measure this, but they're pretty hefty. There's a lot in here. So I got both of these, and I can show you. Let's see. I know there's some eggs. Oh, there's a good one right here. It's right there. See that orange little ball? That is a worm egg. And then there are also dark ones, like that's right here above my finger. It's kind of hard to see with the light because it blends in because it's black. It's a darker color, plus it's like kind of got some vermicast stuck to it too. So there's a bunch of eggs all in here. It's hard for the camera to pick up, but at least it could pick up that one right there, that bright, like the orange one. So those eggs, they'll hatch one. I think it's like 1 to maybe 3 or 4 worms per egg. So like there's at least 4 or 5 eggs there. So that's 20 future worms that are going to populate. So things that I did wrong. I took the bins over to Adirondack Worm Farm, got his opinion on what he thought the bin's state of condition was and if it was ready for harvest. And it is ready for harvest. And so one thing, like, because if I wasn't going to harvest, my bedding was too low. I needed it a lot thicker. Like this was all covered. Like you couldn't see, when I brought it over, you couldn't see any of the vermicast. I brought it over a couple weeks ago, and I knew I was going to be harvesting soon, so he said it's fine to let it go for now. And then once you start your next bin, make sure you go a few inches thick of your bedding. Excuse me. So I needed more bedding, and I always fed in the same spot. I always fed on this side of the tote, and he said basically kind of treat it like a pool table. You got your 6 pockets, your 4 corners, and then like basically in the middle on each side is like you should just go around and rotate your feeding. I also was feeding a little too much because it's very, very damp in here. It's very moist, and you don't want it dry, but it's just a little too damp. So like I was just feeding a little too often. So I just needed to manage that and alternate the feeding. And then we've got like, this is a potato peel that I've put in here, and that has sprouted, and it's a really long sprout. Looking for the sun. It's even got a green tip here. Like it's ready to grow. So if I stuck that out in the garden, like it would grow to a potato. I mean, like even here, like it's got. Come on, camera. There you go. It's got decent roots, and it's sitting in a bin in the dark. I mean, there is a grow light, so that's I've got these worm bins right in where I've started my seedlings for the garden. So that is on most of the day now, but during the winter I didn't have any light in there. So they sat in a dark room with a cover on, and I would still get shoots like this from the potato peels even during the winter. Like they're trying to grow. So yeah, I'm going to harvest this in the next couple days, definitely this week. Hoping to have like this video maybe out by Friday. Make this a Friday. The Friday's video is me actually harvesting and showing a good technique to successfully harvest. And then when I do harvest, I am going to multiply my bins. I've got 2 bins right now. I'm going to split the worm population in half in each bin and start 2 more bins. So that way I'll get 4. I don't think this is a lot of vermicast, but like I've got a lot of garden space, so I think this isn't enough to give all my plants a little bit of vermicast. But I'm going to do a couple studies, like kind of test. Like one of my strawberry patches, I'm gonna put in a bunch of vermicast all around the strawberry plants, and then I'm gonna mulch it, and not do that for the other one. So I want to see like how well it does. It might be a little late because the strawberries are about to start producing here. Like they're growing flowers and stuff. So, but I'm going to try it anyway. And then like I'm going to pick like random plants, like a tomato plant, and that's next to another of the same variety and same start time. Everything else will be the same. And then I'll put vermicast on one and not the other, and then see how well they do. So I'll be doing a few different studies to see how well vermicast helps. I know from people from Anarch Worm Farm doing his lecture, like I know it does a difference. So I'm going to do one myself and just show the difference in size and quality of the different vegetables or fruit that I grow using the vermicast compared to not using it. So yep, that's these 2 bins. They're successful. This was a great turnout. Like I said, like I started these like late August, early September, so it's almost been a year, and this is a good amount of harvest, and it's definitely ready. So that way I can harvest it, and then I can split it up, and then we'll go from there. And yeah, so I'll get the next video out soon of the actual harvest, and then I'll get a video out showing where I spread it, and then how much more I would need to be able to give all my plants this, because that's the goal, is to be able to give all the plants I'm growing in the gardens all this vermicast, including my fruit trees and everything. So like I'm definitely gonna need a lot more bins. Depending on the worms, maybe I'll even split it in like quarters. Maybe I'll do even more, but it depends. I don't want to thin out the herd too much. I don't even know if it's called a herd, but whatever. But yeah, I don't want to thin it out too much, the population. I want to make sure I keep a good population each one, so that way they can consume food at a good rate. And but I do want to expand significantly, so that way I will have plenty of vermicast for everything I grow on the homestead. So thank you for watching. Big shout out and thank you to Anorak's Worm Farm for his help and his teachings on how to do this correctly, and also, you know, selling the bins and selling starter worms. So thank you for watching. You know, please subscribe, help me grow this channel, and we can achieve bigger and better things. You know, like and comment down below, and I will catch you next time. Keep the imagination rolling. Thank you. Bye-bye.